Hi guys, welcome to SMYLZ Philosophy. I, of course, am the Legendary SMYLZ, Pete Gang. I'm hanging out with, watch this, Elias Casteneda. And I was explaining in my last video that I'm having such a nerdgasm because he's actually involved in the business that I love. I'm a wrestling fan. I love professional wrestling. I love to watch it on TV. I love everything about it. I just love the mythology, the mysticism of it. I love everything about it. And to talk to somebody who actually knows some insight, you know, I'm really excited about it. You know what I'm saying? But how it came about was a mystery to me. So I was asking, how did you even hear of me? Like, because he's a subscriber of mine. So how it worked is he's seen some of my videos. He subscribed. We ended up becoming Facebook friends. Found out he was a wrestler, so now I'm trying to figure out what he's doing, and then here he is. So how did this all come about?
Oh man, this all started with just one video. I know one of the first 10 videos I saw was Dictator of Earth. So I started following from then. I was watching just different ones, whether it was just SMYLZ going out and getting a beer and playing pool, to some girl was hanging out with him or something, and I forgot her name, but she was cute.
Hennessy?
Yes, yeah.
Hennessy? Yeah, she is very attractive.
And then I was like, how come they're not? Yeah. But there was those videos. There was one where you were talking about. Oh man, what was it? It was a woman that gets up in some guy's face and asks him to get smacked. They're like, if you don't want to get hit, don't talk shit type of thing.
What?
Yeah, it was.
So none of it was about wrestling though.
Oh no.
So you never seen none of my wrestling videos?
I saw one of them. It was like your top.
Oh yeah,
top 100 or something like that.
Oh okay, all right, that was DVD. Cause that's the part that amazed me about him. As much as I love wrestling and talk about wrestling, he wasn't exposed to none of my wrestling videos. And it just worked out. It just worked out. Now, back to wrestling, because that's what we're talking about here. Training. Now, everyone who watches wrestling, I believe, fantasizes about becoming a wrestler themselves. Mm-hmm. And I think some of them have the realization of what it takes to be a wrestler. Now, I want to take it a step further. I think there are people that have actually sort of made it to the independent scene, yet still do not understand what it takes to be a professional wrestler. Mm-hmm. So could you shed some light on that aspect of what it takes, how to get there, what to look for, what you have to know, you know, just the psychology of it, the physical training, like what does it actually take?
It takes, well, time and patience for one. I'm still, you know, using that time and trying to still be patient on this, but it takes a lot of time and patience. It takes a rookie especially. If you're just walking into this, you know, like this is something I've always wanted to do, I always enjoyed watching, I'm going to say it to you just the way they said it to me when I started. Shut the fuck up and listen. That's all I did. I shut up and I listened. No, I shut the fuck up and I listened. And learned so much by watching, and not much as an admiration type of thing or anything like that. It was more of learning, grasping as much as I could, knowing why to do something, when to do something, how to do something, and making sure that, you know, it's not about the 100 moves that I can do in the ring. It's about that one move or 6 moves that I can do that makes those people pop. I mean, it's about the people that are in the crowd. And so if I make everything I do in that ring about me, then they're not going to care, because I don't care about them. So I need to listen to them and take that and whatever I'm doing in the ring to be my instincts.
How do you know what they want? Like when you mentioned with the promotion that you listed, there were so many different locations. You said Kansas City, Colorado, 4 different spots in Colorado, some parts in Texas. It's different. And we were talking about Japan, how they quiet. So how do you know what the crowd wants to see? How do you know what the fans want?
It depends on their level of excitement. If they put it like this: if you wrestle in front of a crowd, and you've done a moonsault 3 times, you're the good guy.
Okay.
You've done it 3 times and missed it. On that 4th time, the 4th match they see you in, they'll expect you to miss it, but they want you to hit it. So you're like, you know, maybe this time I'll hit it.
Right.
And then when I hit it, they're going to explode because I finally did it. I mean, it's those little things, and you know, that's you giving them what they want.
I hate to bring the big leagues into this, but I can remember that. There were so many times where I saw Ric Flair climb the top rope, and it right. But there was that one time I finally got to see him do some sort of a splash. It didn't connect. It didn't look good. But just to see, and you know, I want to say it was supposedly his retirement match with Shawn Michaels on WrestleMania. I'm not quite sure if that was it. But it was around that time when he was about to retire from WWE. And he finally got a chance to jump off the rope. And that, as ugly as it was, just the fact that I saw him do it, it was, because, you know, usually when he goes through everybody, even Jerry Lawler would say, oh, here he goes. Because we knew it was going to happen. But to finally see him do it meant so much. And as a wrestling fan, there are a lot of little things like that. A lot of little itty-bitty things, if you've been watching it for years and years, that you finally see your performer do, or you understand why they do it, and nobody else catches on to it, and you're like, you don't understand what just happened. They don't get it. You have to get it.
Yes. Yes, you definitely have to get it, definitely have to understand it. There's another case where he did that too. I don't know if you've seen it. It's it was Starrcade 1993. Ric Flair, sort of a retirement match against Big Van Vader. And as many times as he got up to the top, Vader's always throwing him off. Everyone's always throwing him off. But towards the end of that match, he goes up to the top, jumps up, and instead of going into a bear hug or something, he finally gets that knife edge chop over the top, or the axe handle smash or something over the head. He finally got one of those chops down, and Vader goes down with it, and the crowd exploded because they expected Vader to come and grab him and throw him off.
How long do you think the fans can tolerate an underdog? Like when sometimes you want to see them succeed, but at one point do they get tired of them? Like, you know what? He's just not worthy. He's just not good enough. Even if it's a character.
It all depends on the promotion behind it, because you got Mikey Whipwreck in ECW.
Mikey used to put the ring together for ECW, and somebody asked him if he could take bumps. That was actually an inspiring character to me. Him, Mikey Whipwreck, and Zach Gowen, the one-legged guy. Those two made me believe that I still have a chance to perform, but reality set in. And but when I think about Mikey Whipwreck, when I think about Zach Gowen, even when I think about Ricardo Rodriguez,
yes,
you know, they make me believe that when the time is right, anybody can do it. When the time is right. When's the time gonna be right? I'm getting old.
Well, for me, that's the thing. I'm getting up there too. If you guys want age, 31 years old, and I'm still trying to do it. And you know,
don't say trying. You've been doing it.
Well, I've been doing it. I'm just trying to get to that main big
level.
Stage, that level.
So you actually have you have anticipation to be on that level. Like, is it appealing to you to get to that level, or do you feel like, you know what? It's so much facade. I'd rather stay here where the fans really appreciate what's going on, rather than you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like there's some sort of restrictions. Once you get to a level, there's certain things you cannot do. There are certain things, because you have a larger audience, you have to appeal to the larger audience, and sometimes the larger audience isn't even aware that there is an independent promotion. So are you prepared to make that sacrifice, say, you know what, I can't do this, and here I go, now I'm here? Are you prepared to make that leap or that jump or that transition?
I'm prepared for that. I just want to, when I get there, I want to be able to say I did that. At least I worked myself to get that. And to touch on something you brought up earlier about what it takes, if you want to get the work, you got to put in the work. That's the way it goes. You have to put in the work. In the ring, whether you're training or you're in the ring during the show, you got to put the work in and then show your work. And it's not going to be a whole lot of talking. come time for going into a wrestling ring, whether it's WWE or TNA or what have you, it's going to be about the work you put in before you get to that point. And I'm hoping to get that work in. Well, I'm going to get that work in. My whole point of getting to Colorado again is to get that work in so I can get to that grand stage. But it all starts going back home.
Okay, now how much of that work is in the ring, and how much is that work that you put in with is your interactions outside the ring, the things that the people don't see? How much of a part does your character and your work ethic play into it? You know, the things that we don't see. All right, you may have the talent in the ring, but what goes on? Like, how much of it is your work ethic behind the scenes?
95% of, if I'm not in the ring that 5% of the time, the rest of that is wrestling. You have to be emotionally in check. You have to be physically in check. You have to be, if you're a spiritual person, then you're spiritually in check. Just make sure that you're not pushing on everybody else, because that pushes buttons. And you have to be just completely in check with yourself. And you also have to be, oh my goodness, cardio. Cardio, cardio, cardio. Make sure that you are working on that cardio. You are working on your body. You are working on everything that they are going to see out there. And believe it or not, when you are in the ring, whether you're flipping over to a guy takes you over, or you're jumping off and you miss and you hit the mat on your back and oh no, that hurts. It hurts a little less when you have back muscles. Okay. Just an FYI, if you're landing there on your bones, there's not a whole lot of give. And you definitely have to have cardio. You have to have some kind of, you have to look like you've been in the gym, at least. But it takes work to get the work. And I think I went on a tangent there. So what?
Oh, no, check this out. You said you need to look like it's been in the gym.
Yes.
But when you look at Mankind, Rikishi, Vader, Yokozuna, Bam Bam Bigelow, how do they get a pass? What is it about them? What do you think that they do that gives them the exception? Like, look, even though you physically don't look as we desire, you have the ability. Now, how much of the ability counteracts the being in shape?
See that, and that's where the other token goes, where they have a look that they're looking for. So if they want a crazy deranged look, a guy who's missing teeth and missing a piece of his ear and long hair and wears leopard like nobody else, and you pick Cactus Jack, Mankind, Mick Foley. If you want a guy who looks menacing and, you know, chest is all out to here, and get Vader, you know, pulling the stretch bands, and even Mantar was a big, he's like, you know, 5 pounds of relish in a 2-pound bag, just really sloppy, but he was in the ring because he looked menacing. It's all about a look. You
still have to have the ability to put some of that stuff off there, right?
You do, but sometimes sometimes it's just a squash match. You get some little small guy in there, and you have some big guy that just wipes the floor with him, and all you got to do is run into his body, run into his arm, and get knocked out, and you get a nice little $500 payday.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to leave everybody with before we wrap everything up?
Yes. I would like to say that, as I'm not maybe the first or one of the first, if not the first, person on the seat here sitting with Mr. SMYLZ, the legendary one, I would like to say, in all honesty, I read from my own little thing. I needed to know who the hell I was going to talk about. And so Eric, you were top of the list. Romeo, you were second. Daniel Dean, you were third, but I put you somewhere else in there. But at any rate, these are the guys that I think have talent. You probably can't see it right now, but maybe when I come back.
Just read them out. Just read them out. We cheated, is what you're trying to say.
Yes, I did. I didn't cheat the sport, but I did cheat in this. I see Eric Angel, Romeo, Danger Dean, Superstar, Wayne DeWayne, Jason Knoll, Joey T, Michael Titus, and Jack Masidal. I put your brother's name, sorry.
Oh, you got it in there just in time. Well, for me, it was a personal pleasure to speak with Mr. Elias. I mean, we were watching Raw today when he came by, and we're just like, I saw it from a different perspective, because while I'm watching the match, he's watching it from a whole different perspective. So he was telling me things I couldn't even see until he pointed it out. Like, look, he just hurt his head, or that guy wasn't supposed to do that. Look, the ref's in the way. He's like, how do you know? Well, because of this, and this. And I was like, now that I look at it in hindsight, I was like, I see what he's saying. Yet, I'm still, that draws me into it more because I want to know so much about it. It intrigues me. And it's just a pleasure. It's really a pleasure to meet you, man.
Likewise, man. Likewise.
You know what I'm saying? I want to arm wrestle now. When you gonna let me be your manager?
That's the first thing. If I ever wrestle here in New Orleans, my manager right here.
Or if I find my way up to Colorado, one of that.
Yes, that too. Because, oh my goodness, you put this man in the same room with Eric Angel, you're not going to tell them apart. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Wow.
They,
compliment, insult, or observation, I don't know, but I'll accept that.
No, it's two of the coolest human beings you'll ever meet. Mr. Smiles, Eric Angel. Man, it's a Gatorade. I wish it was a beer, but I have to drive. Pleasure, man.
It's a pleasure to meet you too, man. All righty, the guy. Out.